somehow or another, it's a great mystery to some people. Ponds are you can't see what's going on in it. We always joke with our wildlife biologist folks, well, you can count deer, you can see, if nothing else, you can see scat where they've been. You know, with us as fisheries biologists, you can't see fish. So everybody is, and of course, that's the intrigue of fishing, is you don't know what you fix to catch in the next cast. It's the allure of the unknown. So a pond is you know, you can't see exactly what's happening, and sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's where it leads us astray. You have to think of a pond not as a great mystery or as all these gimmicks and things that are sold to you. Think of it just like a garden, okay? It is a garden. It falls back to farming in a lot of ways. It's a product of how fertile and how many fish you can raise in the pond or how many weeds grow in the pond. It's all a product of the soil, okay? How fertile the soil and how fertile that watershed is. Think of it like your garden. If you're going to do a garden, you're going to prep the site, which is what Jake was talking about earlier, doing all this stuff. You want to try and get it all right to get-go. You're going to start with bare ground. You're going to fertilize. You're going to lime. You're going to get the soil right. You're going to plant with a good high-quality seed and plants. You're going to take care of it, nurture it. Then you're going to remember to pick the fruit at the end, right? Sometimes people forget that with fish. And then the thing about it is, too, is when you burn that garden up, what do you do with it? Knock it all down, you know, till it, start over again. Pick the weeds out in between. So a lot of those same things. A pond is an awful lot like a garden. Make sure you have a way to control your water level in it. Have a pipe in it. The fault is at some point in time in the life of that pond, you're gonna need to remove water off of it. Simply put. Do not be afraid of drawdowns or complete dropping it and starting all the way over. Because a lot of times that's a much faster solution than to just keep trying to add this and take this away and stuff. So don't be afraid to do that. Stocking. There's all different combinations of stocking ideas, okay? None of them are right, none of them are totally right, none of them are totally wrong. It just depends a little bit on the situation. You want to stock your brim and minnows and catfish if you put them. First, you can do them in the fall, winter, early spring, and then give a period of time before you introduce the predator fish, before you put your bass in. Old books will tell you stock one in the fall, stock the other in the spring. It doesn't have to be that locked in, because that's kind of outdated when you used to, producers could only produce one crop each. These guys that produce fish now, they do it all year long. They can pump the fish out. You just want to make sure your brim have a chance to spawn at least once before you introduce bass into the pond. Make sure you harvest fish correctly out of it after that. Don't just put the fish in there and assume every fish is going to just keep growing and become trophy fish. You've got to act as the predator in that situation to keep it in balance. So you want to try and promote the most fish growth you can, fertilize it. You want to eliminate weeds in it. If you can start fertilizing it before the weeds ever get established, you want a pond to have a base of the food chain based all around plankton, algae. Green water is your friend, okay? Every pond has a lifespan, okay? We already had discussions about siltation and things. The bigger scope of that project is called eutrophication. It is the buildup of nutrients in a situation, in a pond, over time that make it less and less suitable for beneficial aquatic life, okay? When water comes into the pond, nutrients come in, silt comes in. Every year when the leaves fall off the trees around the pond, or pine straw, all that stuff goes to the bottom of the pond. It doesn't rot there very fast. There's not a lot of oxygen in the water on the bottom of the pond, and over time that stuff builds up. That's why old ponds got all this black sludge in the bottom of them and stuff. That's organic buildup. You can have silt buildup as well. But over time, that pond becomes less and less conducive to fish growth and more conducive to weed growth. So in some instances, once it's past that point, the best thing to do is drain it down and start over with it. You can put some life back into that pond.